Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Fallout Tale of Two Wastelands, where last time, we killed Harold. In a good way, he wanted us to do it, so it's absolutely morally fine. And today, where we were told in a psychic prophecy that Paradise Falls was in our future, so okay, how about we go there, because yes, if you know precisely how this place works and how to manipulate it, Paradise Falls is one of the most dumb, chaotic nonsense areas in the entire bloody game. And the source of this chaos is Fallout 3's faction system, and I'm aware, in general we don't really think of Fallout 3 as having much of a faction system. It's way more prominent and visible in Fallout New Vegas, but Fallout 3 does have one. You see, the reason Fallout 3 still needs a faction system, even though it doesn't have a New Vegas-style faction reputation mechanic, is alignment. It needs to exist so that people know who they're going to help out in the event that violence kicks off. Now normally this is actually pretty bloody simple. Walk into a town, shoot a civilian, and everyone in that town is going to open fire on you, because they're all part of one big faction. But sometimes there need to be exceptions, because otherwise things wouldn't make sense. So, super simple example right here in Paradise Falls. I'm going to shoot this man with a gun. He's a slaver. Every other slaver is aligned with him. They're all annoyed, they get out their guns too. However, if I just pop my gun away and head in this direction, naturally, the slaves don't object to this, because they're not part of the same slaver faction. Obviously, they're not going to object to me killing slavers. On the contrary, they're pretty bloody happy about it. Okay, let's just nip back in time and pretend I didn't begin a fight, or at least not just yet. So, yes indeed, so far so simple, but the trick with Paradise Falls is, it's probably the single most factionally complicated area in the game. There are so many different factions with all sorts of different relationships between them. For example, there's a couple of shops in town, so Lock and Load are run by Pronto, begin a fight with the, slavers outside, step inside, and he bloody hates you, immediately opens fire because he's a slaver. Mosey over to the other side of the street, however, beginning a brand new fight, and instead head over to Cutter's clinic. And Cutter, meanwhile, is not hostile.
You look like you've seen better days. A few caps will fix that up for you.
Instead, she is perfectly happy to keep talking with you, keep doing business with you, etc, etc. Because Cutter is not strictly part of the same faction as the slavers. She lives and works in Paradise Falls, but she's not part of the same group, so she doesn't behave in the same way. And there's an in-universe reason for that. She actually bloody hates slavers.
Ain't nothing I love more than an injured slaver with more caps than sense. Hopefully, you fall into that category.
Cutter, you see, is entirely motivated by money. She just wants to make as much money as possible and doesn't care in the slightest for the slavers. If anything, yes, she seems quite happy about the idea of them getting injured and then having to pay her to fix them up. She is neither aligned with slaves or slavers. She's kind of in her own little side mini-faction. So okay, winding back the clock again, as you can see, we have got not just, slavers and slaves, we've also got micro-factions who don't fit into either category. That's gonna, potentially complicate things a bit. As is the fact that some people are simply incorrectly tagged. So if we just mosey on over here for a second, we've got a confrontation going on between a slaver and a slaver.
This is the last time I tell you, no more. Please, no. I didn't. I swear. This is your last mistake, little bartender.
And oh dear, it would appear that this here slaver is about to murder a bartender. So don't you worry, Frank, I'm going to save you. So just pop some bullets in this guy's head, marvelous. Game gives me karma, Frank survives, but funny old thing about Frank, which is, we just mosey on over to him. You may notice straight away, he's actually marked in red. He's now hostile to me, despite the fact I just saved him from being murdered. Why? Because he's tagged as a slaver, even though he actually works as an enslaved bartender. I guess Bethesda didn't really consider it worth tagging him properly, because he's supposed to die immediately. That guy's supposed to hit him with a hammer, he dies in one hit, etc, etc. But yes, some characters also just aren't really tagged logically, and aren't aligned to who you'd think they should be. Oh, and that's before we get into individually hard-coded factional relationships that exist between individual people. So, yes, this lovely chappie right here, just mosey on up to him and ask him where he came from.
Does it matter? It only matters where I am, and that is here. I have my boy, my friends, plenty of caps, and strong drink. Why would the past matter when now is so good?
So yes, indeed, he specifically flags he's got a son, the chappie behind him over there on the right, Jotun. Speaking of which, ask him what he does round here.
I keep my father safe. It is a big job.
So okay, these two like each other, they protect each other, marvellous. And that means there's a secret factional relationship going on underneath the surface. And as a result of that funny old thing, in the event that, yes, Emir over here dies to a sudden shot in the head, his son goes bananas. And not just at me, he is now frenzied. He will attack literally everyone around him, and everyone else will attack him straight back. He's now just hostile to the world, and the world is hostile to him. And he'll be gunned down pretty bloody fast. But, obviously, I was seen as shooting his father. So as a result of that, once they've taken down this chappie, they're going to be coming straight for me. They're now hostile to me forever. And fun thing about this area, they don't forgive and forget after 72 hours. Rivet City, go in, commit some murders, they'll decide, you know what, we can just forgive and forget. There are a few societies, Oasis is one, Paradise Falls is another, where if you annoy them, that's it, they will never forgive you and always shoot you on sight. In short, this place might look peaceful, but it's actually a powder keg ready to cocking blow. You've got slavers who, if the slaves try and escape, will shoot them on sight. Slaves who, if they get hold of weapons, will absolutely try and take out the slavers too. We'll get to how we set that up in a minute. We've got characters who are neither aligned to the slaves or the slavers. Characters who aren't tanked correctly, and others who are literally programmed to go berserk and murder everyone under certain circumstances.
Mr. Eulogy, can I talk to you for a second? If you're not busy, I mean.
Why are you bothering me, Clover? What do you want?
I've
got something
it's
to
about
say
Princess.
to you,
Let's go.
I think that maybe it's time you let her
You have
go,
to say
like you
it.
said you would,
You're not here to
so that
talk.
we can be together alone.
It's just that last week,
Oh, and don't forget, Eulogy's also being followed around by two bodyguards and or sex workers. One of whom is a potential companion, one of whom isn't, and both of whom hate the other, because that might become relevant later too. Basically, as I say, powder keg, and I know precisely what the match looks like. Say hello to the mesmetron, which you may recall we actually got many parts ago from Paradise Falls itself. This is the gun that stuns people so you can put slave collars on them, but, as you may also recall, it does some other stuff too. It has a chance of potentially just killing someone straight up, exploding their heads like we did to poor Grandma Sparkles, or alternatively, it can drive people berserk and immediately put them into a frenzy. And this gun can be manipulated a bit because some characters can't die, so naturally you can't make their heads explode, and some characters can't be enslaved, so naturally you can't enslave them, meaning if you shoot them with this gun, basically they're going to go berserk because they can't do anything else. And would you believe, right here in the slaver town, you can't enslave people, because obviously it would be nonsense for you to enslave a slaver and then send them to the front door to become a slave. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So as a result of that, oh, this gun really bloody messes up this town. Now, it's not quite as simple as that. Just shooting someone with the mesmetron while not being witnessed, that's not good enough, for the simple reason that yes, firing this gun is firing a gun, meaning effectively everyone in this faction will believe I just shot someone in the back, and they're not going to be happy about that. So just quickly, Mez Emir right here, he goes bananas, starts trying to murder everyone, which is beautiful. On this occasion he's picked that person over there, but you'll notice everybody's also hostile to me, so really this doesn't help me very much. Curiously though, there are a couple of people who this rule doesn't apply to. You can mess them and nobody cares. So that's what we're going to do to thin out the slaver ranks a bit. So all we need to do is mosey on behind Jotun right here, give him a quick boop in the head, and he's now going to go bananas. But hilariously, it's not just at me, it's at everybody, and on top of that, nobody else cares, and even better, oh, him and his dad are now engaged in a fight to the death with giant hammers, and, okay, they've both lost the hammers, now they're just punching each other, his dad's got the hammer back, and now... oh, Ymir, how could you do this to your own beloved son? He's got his hammer back, but... too late. His head goes kaboom. But, not only do we have one dead slave right here, we have now got, yes, a badly wounded Ymir. And on top of that, hilariously, he doesn't have any extra lines recorded for this scenario.
I have my boy, my friends, plenty of caps, and strong drink. Why would the past matter when now is so good?
Okay, so, one, you don't have your boy because you just killed him with a hammer after he went bananas and betrayed you for reasons that apparently nobody can figure out. And two, you just killed the bartender, so you don't actually have strong drink either, so, oh, there is a moral message in here for you, friends. Okay, for the next stage of Operation Make This Society Destroy Itself without me officially having to do anything, I've made it night, because that means some of the slavers have gone to their bunks, got out the way, etc, etc. It's a bit quieter about, in fact, yeah, the people we've got about are a very, very badly wounded slaver over there, handful more people. Basically, yes, now would be a good time for, shall we say, the toughest slaver in the entire camp to suddenly go bananas and attempt to murder everybody. So, how about we just, yes, get our head down over here. So, give 40 a quick wibble, and straight away, yes, the fire begins, going in both directions. And also, the cow is panicking, marvellous. So, 40 appears to have, yes, retreated in this sort of direction, and 40 is going to absolutely slaughter just basic slavers, okay? He is going to cut them down like nobody's business. He's wearing good armor, he's got a Chinese assault rifle, and what I really want is, yeah, him to start killing named slavers. That would be brilliant, and the chap with the minigun, that would be perfect. So there goes one named chappie right over there. In come yet more basic slaves, just trying to cut him down. And I think possibly another one cocky bites the dust. So, put all that together and we have now got, yes, Ymir is dead. 40 is dead. Carolina Red is dead. We've also got, sorry, that's just her head. That's the same person. Together with at least one unnamed slaver. Possibly more, I'm not sure. So, we've cleared out maybe half the entire camp and officially... I'm not at war with these guys. Them and me are 100% chill with each other because the mesmetron is just a ridiculous, stupid gun of ludicrousness. Also, while it's a bit less efficient because, yeah, there's more guards around so he gets put down a lot faster, yeah, starting this fight with 40 of the day is a lot more nonsensically chaotic. So just get him nice and ready to go, put my gun away, and just on this occasion, everybody decides to get involved. Clover and Crimson both decide to do their business as well, absolutely flipping beautiful. But perhaps most interestingly of all, Rory McLaren basically decides he's going to break out of isolation, bear in mind he's supposed to be, you know, locked in, because he's a slave and whatnot, in order to help put down bloody 40. He actually, yes, breaks out of the box to assist, which is very bloody weird. And also then he just walks straight back to the box, because apparently he is a model bloody prisoner. And there we go, after just walking into the box for a second, because he doesn't have the key for it, he just sort of teleports back inside. Lovely. So, let's nip into the universe where, yes, we did the nighttime 40 activation because that was by far the most effective in terms of a number of kills. But that's not the only thing we can do. There is one more person we can unleash upon Paradise Falls, and this one isn't a slaver. Now, we can help the slaves get a bit of revenge. So just nip into Eulogy's pad right over here and grab the key to the box. Lovely. And with this, we can open up all of the slave pens. Though, fascinatingly, this is not considered a crime, despite the fact we are, you know, literally opening up the pens that contain the slaves. Like, you'd think the slavers would object to that, but no, that is not actually a crime as far as they're concerned. So, chilling out in the pen during the day, we have got 4 slaves who are very, very chill indeed about, yes, the fact I've just opened the gate for them. But those aren't the only slaves in this enclosure, they're just the only ones that are outside. Any slaves you captured as part of the quest to get into Paradise Falls live permanently inside the barracks. They never go outside, they just chill out right here. So the lovely sniper from Minefield, he's right here, right now, and curiously, yes, they took his armor off him, but they let him keep his gun.
I don't want to be a slave. I was just confused before. Take it off.
And the only reason he's not fleeing is because, of course, yes, the bomb collar. So if I wanted to, I can get that off him. I've got sufficient science to do that. But I think we should wait for just the right moments. Because, oh blimey, it is the right moment, right? Because Eulogy is right outside right this moment. And yes, things might be about to get a bit on the weird side when that happens. Okay, buddy, here we go. Let's get that collar off you.
I'm alive! You did it!
Collar disappears, he pulls out his gun, and now it's time for revenge. Though, yes, things, as I say, are about to get odd. And immediately, Arkansas starts shooting at the children. Those are his first targets. He opens fire on the cocking children. And then, okay, Clover's now at this point decided to start shooting Eulogy for reasons that aren't entirely clear. That just sometimes happens too, because, yes, she just gets very confused indeed. And also, Clover is also attempting to murder. She's attempting to murder Crimson. She will sometimes do this, as we established earlier. They don't like each other, though whether, like, you know, this is supposed to happen or if it's a bug, I have no idea. But sometimes Clover will just attempt to murder Crimson, which she is now doing with her gun. Now, hang on. Who are you trying to murder precisely? Because I mean, you're pointing a gun at somebody. I have no idea who she's actually trying to kill right now. And, yes, the slavers are also... Okay, Eulogy's dead. Grenades are being tossed. No, seriously, who are you trying to murder? Is it still Arkansas? Does Arkansas even still have... I think Arkansas's definitely... Okay, I think they're now all just murdering the children. Okay, so I've opened up the gate, meaning now Crimson has just come into the cage to start attacking the child with a sword. I promised you nonsensical chaos, alright? You can't say I haven't bloody delivered. Okay, how about we just leave Arkansas in prison for the time being? We'll get back to you later, buddy. But, yes, just for now, you just caused too much chaos, okay? And for some reason, everybody starts shooting children when you've been released. So, yes, we're just going to leave him in here for the moment, because there's all sorts of other interesting bits and pieces dotted around Paradise Falls. And honestly, I feel like enough slavers are at this point dead. So, you know, if it does eventually go a bit on the nasty shooty side, it's going to be a lot easier than it would have been otherwise. But yes, as it's currently daytime, let's nip inside the barracks. Curiously, yes, even though the door is marked in green, you are trespassing by coming into this building. So, if anyone sees you in here, they will tell you to get out, and they do mean it. Just like, yeah, opening fire on someone, if you stay here too long witnessed, they will turn hostile, and they will not forget. You are just basically, yeah, stuck being hostile to Paradise Falls forever. Which is a shame, because there is a really rather cool mystery in this room. And that is, down on the bottom shelf, a Vault 77 jumpsuit, and one note: burn this goddamn suit.
Like I told you, man, I don't fucking know where it came from, but it freaks the boys out. Some story from a while back about a stranger with no name. Just get rid of the damn thing. Ain't no good gonna come from keeping it around. Besides, if it is his, maybe he'll come back for it. Comprende?
Okay, so slavers sounding very worried indeed about a Vault 77 jumpsuit, and I know what some of you are immediately thinking. John, what the cock is Vault 77? There's no Vault 77 in Fallout 3. In fact, there's no Vault 77 in all of Fallout. It never shows up at all. So, what is this jumpsuit, and why is it here? Well, actually, this is one of those cool little touches in the game that only really makes sense if you paid attention to the various literature that was released to the public before Fallout 3 even came out. Just like in New Vegas, for example, yeah, various locations and little touches around the map don't really make a huge amount of sense unless you read the comic book that Obsidian released ahead of New Vegas coming out. This is a reference to a webcomic that Bethesda released. One Man and a Crate of Puppets, which was co-written by the Penny Arcade team and Emil Pagliarulo of Bethesda. They produced it together, which is basically the story of a Vault Dweller inside Vault 77, where the Vault experiment was basically into isolation. He was the only Vault Dweller inside that vault, aside of course from a crate full of puppets. The comic tells the story of him going bananas and starting to, speak to the puppets, assign them personalities, voices, etc, etc, until things start getting a bit out of hand. In particular, the Vault Boy puppet, it turns out, is a serial killer and murders the other puppets too, leading the Vault Dweller and the Vault Boy puppet to flee the vault out into the Wastelands, at which point they run into a couple of slavers. We don't see precisely what happens, but yes, the clear indication is the Vault Boy puppet, being controlled by the Puppet Man, takes out the slavers and becomes a bit of a resident boogeyman, which is precisely what this suit and that note references. A mysterious Vault suit wearing figure who at some point in the past took out a handful of slavers. Which is why, very cute touch indeed, it's the only Vault suit that gives you a bonus to unarmed. Because yes, this person murdered slavers with his bare hands, specifically his bare hands inside a puppet. So yeah, it gives you bonus to unarmed skill, which is adorable. Pronto on the other side has also got a small mission associated with him, but honestly it's not the most interesting in the world. You see, the problem with Pronto is, yes, his inventory is pretty much terrible. He mainly just sells low-level trash. If you bring him a giant pile of Chinese assault rifles, his shop will get a tiny bit better. Now, for me, that would actually be fairly simple. Because bear in mind, what he wants is nothing but Chinese assault rifles, and would you believe there is a dungeon where everyone inside is using Chinese assault rifles because it's a Chinese ghoul army base, Mama Dolce, so I could probably get all the rifles I need right there. However, there's no bloody point. Because even if you do, all that happens is, yes, he has a handful more caps in his inventory, and his guns get a tiny bit better. He just basically gets elevated to the level of a normal shop, and bear in mind, I've invested in all the caravans wandering around the wasteland. Even if I actually do this very tedious task for him, he's still miles behind all of them, and his repair skills are awful as well, so basically, it's just not worth doing. Instead, we should probably turn our attention to, the thing we're actually supposed to be doing in this settlement, rather than just, slowly taking advantage of a slightly buggy faction system to make them murder each other. And that's getting some slaves free. Now, naturally, most of the attention is on, yes, getting the children out, because we need to do that as part of the main plot in order to get access to Little Lamplight, unless, of course, you pass the various speech checks so you can just get straight into the town without bothering with these kids right here. However, that is not the only prison break that you can assist. Just like we saw earlier, there are a handful of adults just chilling out right here. Today, we're going to get everybody out, but even more hilariously, if you pay close attention to these slaves over here in this box, they're planning their own escape. The ringleader is this lovely lady here, Miss Bleak.
What do you want? Make it quick, you're blocking my view.
And when you say blocking the view, just yes, don't tell her the gate's open. She will start running and she will be shot down.
I'm watching the patrols. What do you think I'm looking at? They switch it up a little bit every day, but just a little. There has to be some sort of pattern to it. It's just a matter of watching and waiting.
So Bleak is slowly putting together a plan to potentially sneak past the guards.
Hey, Bronson, listen up. Hey, pay attention. I need your help.
Huh? What? Oh yeah, anything for you, Bleak. What do you need?
You remember what I asked you before? The deal we had? Can you do it soon? I'm worried that we're running out of time.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It'll get done.
All right, Bronson. No screw-ups this time, got it?
Unfortunately, yes, her collaborators are not exactly the sharpest tools in the sheds.
Hey, you want to hear a song? See a dance? Just give me some booze, I'll make it happen.
Yes, Bronson's problem in particular is he is drunk a large part of the time. The implication seeming to be, yes, he basically gets alcohol off the guards by offering to entertain them with various songs and dances and whatnot. So, yes, he spends a lot of time drunk and isn't necessarily going to be that bloody useful. As for Breadbox, meanwhile...
Oh, hey! What do you need, young lady?
He unfortunately, yes, is just not particularly capable of engaging with you.
What? You'll have to speak up.
And no matter what you say...
Oh, Him? No, I have no idea where he is.
Yes, it's not entirely clear whether Breadbox is slightly deaf, slightly losing it, or a bit of both, but you just can't really engage with him in any meaningful way. Though curiously, yes, the fourth member of the team, Miss Jeanette, is just seemingly not really involved in the plan, and you can determine that by looking at how the characters interact with each other, which is to say, yeah, Bleak never goes up to Jeanette and asks her about the plan, or anything to do with it.
This place is terrible, please. You've gotta help us.
Don't worry, Miss Jeanette, I'll get to you soon.
Please, if you get to Underworld, let them know that I'm okay.
Though yes, there is the rather curious touch here that you do figure out where she's coming from. We know she's from Underworld, though who she's related to in any capacity, unfortunately, no way of determining that. As far as I'm aware, there's no one in Underworld who gained any new dialogue options from speaking to Miss Jeanette.
I miss my brother.
Though as you just heard there, we do know it was her brother, so that does narrow it down a bit, but still, we just don't really know who she's referring to. Instead, for some reason, yes, Bleak has decided that Bronson is going to be her main collaborator in arranging the escape, and tragically, he pretty much constantly lets her down in that regard.
Hey, Bleak, check this out. I did that thing you asked.
You got the right one this time? Are you serious? Here, let me see. Hand it to me.
Here you go, Bleak. Just like you asked.
Damn it, Bronson. This isn't what I asked for. I needed one of the detonators, not whatever this is.
Yeah,
That
get
isn't-
away from me.
I mean, shit, I'm sorry.
How many times have we gone over this, Bronson? Can't you stay sober enough to do one little thing?
I'm so sorry, Bleak. Just one more chance. I won't let you down again.
I suppose I can do that. Just don't let me down again, Bronson. I need your help.
And there we go. Unfortunately, Bleak has put her faith in the wrong person, and Bronson is too drunk to actually correctly assist her, meaning they just can't pull off the escape, because apparently Bleak can't do it on her own, and I love these four people, because they're attached to no mission whatsoever, you've got no reason to speak to them, but if you do speak to them, and more importantly, if you just hang around and watch them speaking to each other, you can put together their story, their background, what each of them wants, and watch their plans form, and also fail. It's just a lovely bit of background storytelling. Still, step one of our plan to make sure everybody makes it out of here, let's start off with the kids.
So, you're getting us free or what?
And go on then, Sammy, tell me about how precisely I would get you guys out of here.
Can't you just shoot them all?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it's been working pretty well so far. In fact, I've not even been needed to shoot them myself. Though, go on, let's get a plan B just in case.
Well, I mean, Squirrel thinks maybe he could use the computer in here to turn off the collars. Squirrel's good with computers, and they don't know he made this one work again. But it's not connected or something. Hang on, I'll get Squirrel, and he can tell you what to do.
So okay, he's gonna go get the other kid, and me and him can have a chat about what may or may not need to be done, but what I absolutely love about this mission, by the way, is just, walk away, leave the kid here right now. You don't need to do any of this, because this is a slave market, meaning the kids are for sale. There is literally nothing stopping you from at any point just going up to Eulogy and saying, hey, the kids, how bloody much?
For starters, I'm thinking 500 caps each for the little ones. Sammy and Penny, I think their names are. Now the other one, Squirrel, that's a talented kid. 500 would be a crime. I'm thinking 1,000 caps for him, bringing us to a total of 2,000 caps.
I also do really enjoy how Eulogy does have the measure of the kids. Squirrel is the most talented, clearly knows a bit about computers and planning and whatnot, so he would be deemed the more valuable of the three. Unfortunately, I don't have $2,000 on me, though you can argue him down a bit if you have the caps available. So let's just do the escape anyway, given, half the guards are already dead. But I really do appreciate that this is an option. You can just toss money at the problem to make it go away. And if you do it this way, it's just a nice, easy way of keeping Paradise Falls on side, as you know, some shops, a base, etc, etc.
You're the Mungo that's helping us, huh? Sammy says she wants to know the plan. Well, listen up, Mungo, because it's a good one. I'm super smart. We're stuck behind the fence here. But even if we get past the fence, and the Mungos with guns, we still can't leave. They got these collars on us, right? Make us blow up if we try and get out. No way to get the collars off, so we gotta stop them from blowing up.
Unfortunately, yes, that one's not too complicated.
So I found this old terminal in the building here. Dusty, but it turns on with a little fixing. Like I said, I'm super smart. I know they use a terminal to turn the collars on and off. So if you can link the terminals, I can turn the collars off and they won't even know. Then we just gotta open the fence, sneak past the mungos with guns, and get the hell out of here. Sounds good, right? You in?
And why the flip not, eh? Though yes, if you're not good with computers, there is an alternative repair check you can go for instead.
Oh, come on. Aren't you mungos good for anything? I'm a kid. I can do it. Why can't you? Listen, if you can't make that work, there might be one other way to do it. Even for a stupid mungo like you. There's a junction box along the wall in the eating area. Switch a few cables there and we're good. So there you go. Either you better be pretty good at fixing stuff, or you better learn how to use a terminal real fast.
I love how dismissive Squirrel is of you, it's marvellous. So yeah, this first step is pretty easy. It's just a pretty darn simple skill check, assuming you don't just want to murder everyone. So the box in question is, yeah, this one over here, just behind the food sign. So that is, yeah, repair of 40. Or alternatively into Eulogy's pad to do a bit of computer hacking. And it turns out I'm a genius at hacking because literally my first guess turned out to be correct. Beautiful. It's just, yeah, update the network connections. Lovely. Network has been added. Job done. And on the way out, just for style points, make sure you're wearing Eulogy Jones's hat while you're breaking his slaves out of prison. Because, why the cock not, eh? I mean, look at that. That is a nice hat.
With the terminal, I can turn off the collars and open up the gate. But they're not gonna just let us walk out of here, you know? There's always at least one guard near the pen, and someone's gotta get rid of him. Since we can't just walk around like we own the place, you're gonna have to do it. You get me?
I'm actually genuinely curious, yes, how this is gonna go, because the guard in question he's talking about is 40, and 40 is a very bloody dead.
Okay, don't do anything stupid.
Oh, it's too late for that. I've already started shooting people with the enslaving gun, and... okay, range for 40 to be away from the slave pen. I mean, I feel like I've kind of done that already, but if you insist, game, we're just going to... okay, never mind. Apparently it was already good enough. It just took a moment to update, but you want 40 to be not near the pen. Let's make sure 40 is not near the pen. Lovely.
Hey, look at Mr. Mungo! Sure hope whatever you did doesn't piss off the rest of them. Okay. Me and Sammy can sneak out of here. The drain in the bathroom is just big enough for us to sneak through. But Penny's being all dumb and won't leave. What's with girls anyway?
So, we could speech check them so they leave Penny behind, but that would be a bit of a dick move, so we're not going to do that. Instead, we need to make sure she's willing to go too.
This Mungo, Roy McLaren. She got all sweet on him or something. I don't know. It's some stupid girl thing. But they threw him in the box because he was giving them shit. And they won't let him out. So Penny says she ain't going until she knows she's safe. I told her she's stupid.
So okay, we've also got to sort that out for Penny.
Me and Sammy are getting out of here now, though. If you can get her to come, meet us east of here, after you're out.
Alright, so they're just heading straight on out, lovely. And now, yes, they're just going to sneak straight to the bathroom. They can go through the drain there, no problemo. Penny, let's me and you have a nice chat.
You're the Mungo that helped Sammy and Squirrel, aren't you? Well, I already told them I'm not going anywhere. Not without Rory.
And once again, we've got a speech check exactly as difficult to potentially persuade her to leave him behind. So, arguably the better option, because this way, yeah, all three kids do escape rather than leaving one of them behind. But no, once again, we're getting everybody out of here, damn it.
You have to get Rory out of the box. He's locked in there, and the guards have the key. I think 40 has one. I don't know where the other one is. Probably the boss guy has it. Or it's in his room. You find the key, you can get Rory out, and then I'll leave.
Now, what would normally happen in this game is, yes, you get Rory out and he immediately gets murdered, because Rory is wearing basically no armor and is also unarmed. And I know what you're thinking, John, why not just kill all the slavers up front? Then you could get out Rory. Fun fact, it doesn't work that way. If the game descends into an absolute shooting gallery, Rory will just be a corpse in the box. I don't know why, but he just automatically dies. So getting Rory out is really bloody difficult. arguably, the better option is just releasing him, let him get shot. Penny, of course, at that point relents because Rory's already dead. What can you do? And the situation is resolved just fine. But no, we're going to get Rory out too. And we're gonna do it properly, because there is a fun little manipulation you can do with the game, which is the moment you release him and he starts trying to leave, wait. Because you're not in combat, because neither you or Rory have been seen, you're nice and round the corner. So as a result of that, if you just wait a couple of hours, Rory will just teleport out to the base. But no, as I say, we're gonna do this properly. And once again, that means we're going to do it at night, because at night there are far fewer guards around. What's actually left right now? There's the guy up there who's already a bit on the wounded side. You are at full strength, but you're a basic slaver. And then maybe... yeah, there are a handful at the front door. But when I open fire on, yeah, these guys, they're going to be running around the corner. So, okay. I think we can, you know, set up a little surprise for them. Though, please don't walk this way. I was about to lay mines here. Please do not just be around this bit of the world. Though, actually, if you'd like to go to bed in the barracks, yes, this would be a lovely time for you to do that. Though, obviously, yes, this is now decision time. There's basically no way to get Rory out alive without annoying the slavers, apart from doing, yes, the teleportation weight manipulation. So, if you want to get him out alive properly, then pretty much you've got no choice but to declare war on the slavers, meaning you can't really do business here anymore. With the exception, as I say, of Cutter, who is completely 100% fine with continuing to do business with you, even after you've killed all the rest of her customers. So, okay, let's just leave a handful of mines right around here. Beautiful. That should do at least a little bit of good work. Maybe just one more on the corner here. So, Rory, me, you, let's flipping go.
What? Are you kidding me? This is another one of 40's tricks, isn't it? Well, I'm not falling for it.
Okay, you can just stay in here if you want, but Penny asked me to get you out.
I owe that little girl a lot. I'll have to try and make up to her someday. Okay, what do we do?
And ideally, yes, we need to be careful. Low, quiet, do not start sprinting, stay behind me.
You got it, I'll stay right with you. Get me to the front gate and I can make a run for it from there.
So alright, just stay down, and now, yes indeed, the murder begins, and the explosions are probably going to begin momentarily as well. So, step one, how's my VATS doing? Honestly, pretty good these days, so a couple of shots right here, and bear in mind, if I get the VATS kill, I will at that point, lovely, I will at that point get my VATS back immediately. Everyone is now annoyed, but they are walking straight into mines, and with 0 spread on this gun, we should be in good condition. Bloody hell. 59% at this range. That is lovely. And 84 into the arm. I mean, take it, quite frankly. That is... okay, you took cover at just the right moment. I'll take 60 on the head. So lucky we might well get that, especially if we get the bonus crit chance. That was nice, and come on. Lovely, that gets all my VATS back. We've also got more bits and pieces. And uh-oh. Rory, I appreciate, yes, your gumption, but I did say stay low, stay at the back, etc., etc. You're not following the plan right now, Rory. Like, not even remotely. And Rory goes down fast, as I say. No armor. Another slaver goes down. Okay, this is a good start right now. Anyone else? No one else is around. Right, me and you, Rory, that's the starting point. Other mines done. And now Rory is just chilling out. Okay, I think the mines have all gone off. Just make sure we've got nobody else. And, okay, that was so much easier because the slavers kind of, you know, killed each other.
Thanks for getting me out of there. I owe you one. Now you get back in there and make sure Penny stays safe. I'll try and contact her sometime, if I can. I need to lay low for a while.
Unfortunately, yes. Despite what he says there, that never goes anywhere. They never make contact again in any way that I'm aware of. Speaking of which, there goes the lad, though. Okay, hang on. Are you about to run into trouble with, you know, Grouse and Richter outside? Because I feel like potentially you might. And I really don't want you to fluff up at this stage, so... they seem to be... uh-oh. They are... no! They're shooting at me! Good. Good, 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 good. Richter right there can go down. No trouble. 1 shot, 2 shot. get my vats back. Don't you flipping mind me. And grouse goes down too, obviously, yes. This means we can never again sell slaves, which is a real shame, but I feel like at this point of the game, I do not need that slave money. There are many, many easier ways to make a giant pile of caps, though, yep, officially, strictly business is now done. Though with that done, yes, the path to the front door is now completely clear. Which means now we can get everybody else out too, because, well, officially, oh, hang on. Sorry, did not realise you were going to be here, random extra slaver with a missile launcher of all bloody things, but that's not going to be a problem. Your head pops off. Okay, maybe just getting it out nice and fast, because apparently there are more slavers just dotted around yet, so, okay. Hopefully, Squirrel turned off, like, all the collars, not just the ones him and his friends were wearing. So, Bleak, the gates open, off you go.
Now's our chance. Let's go!
So, she immediately is off, and Miss Jeanette as well, please.
Freedom!
She's very happy about that. Bronson, however, needs to be talked into it a little bit more.
Ain't had enough to drink, can't go nowheres.
Okay, Bronson, if you leave, you'll be able to find a bar where there's gonna be plenty of booze.
Now that sounds like a plan. I'm a run for it.
Yeah, she definitely shouldn't have been trusting Bronson to help her out. So those lots are on their way. However, Breadbox does in passing, if yeah, you overhear him speaking to various characters, basically follow the principle that he's perfectly happy being a slave. Well, maybe happy's not the right term, but he's accepted it, and he'd rather be a slave here than out in the wasteland, which he appears to consider worse. So whether he's choosing to do it or just doesn't understand what the cock's going on, he will not leave. And one more to go too. So he now gets to mosey on his way with the sniper rifle too. Lovely, and yes, there should basically be nobody left for... I swear I just heard gunfire. Who the hell is... Clover? Who are you shooting and why? Oh, there we flipping go, she finally did it. Yes, it's really hard to figure out what the trigger for this is, but Clover will 100% kill Crimson, because I did not kill Crimson, and for some reason, Clover, why are you doing this? What are you doing? Do not open fire on Bronson. Okay, I'm so sorry, Clover, but you need to go down, though. Okay, bare minimum. You don't get it. Clover, as I just said, no gun for you anymore, please. Okay? No gun for you. Just start taking that out, if you'd be so kind. And okay, she is a companion. She's playing by companion rules. Crack out the terrible shotgun. Clover, don't flipping do it. Okay? Honestly, I don't particularly care for you as a companion. I would rather you go down and all the slaves get to go free. I promised them they got to go free, so they get to go free. Also, excellent physics there. Good job. So, that is literally every slave rescued. All the children, all the adults, all the VIPs, everything. And that means some of them we can now go and visit. The children, of course, are just round the corner outside. Marvellous. I forgot to go and tell Penny about Rory and... Okay, hang on, I'll be right back.
You saved him? Really? Now I have to get out. Don't follow me. You go out the normal way. We'll meet outside.
Right, and this time...
Not bad, Mungo. Not bad at all. I told you I had a good plan. It sure worked, didn't it? You ever need anything, you go see McCready in Lamplight. He'll help you out. Thanks, Mungo.
And there we flipping go. Giant pile of XP. The children head off to Lamplight. They are literally running straight to Giant Rad Scorpion. But fortunately, they're children. As we saw earlier, nothing can actually harm them in the slightest, so they'll be just fine on their journey. Instead, we're going to catch up with the other people we just freed. Because, you see, every VIP you previously enslaved returns to their original position, meaning Arkansas, still not wearing any clothes fascinatingly, has returned to Minefield, and just, you know, as a reminder, I was the one who originally enslaved him. Despite that, however...
What do you need?
He's now very happy to have a nice civilized chat with me.
Whatever.
Okay, not that civilized, but normally he is hostile to literally everyone, so this is progress, quite frankly. And the same is true for Rory, who makes his way back here to Megaton. Here he is upstairs the following day, still with the gun he looted off the dead slavers. Marvellous.
Hey, talk fast. I hate it when I talk to customers.
Okay, not 100% sure what he means by that. Possibly the implication is he works here at Gob's Bar now, I have no idea. The other four, however, yeah, they just disappear off the map the moment they're actually free. So, tragically, Miss Jeanette never makes it back to Underworld. So there we go, slavery has been defeated in Fallout 3, which is lovely, which we have primarily done by, yes, releasing all the slaves and killing all the slavers, which we did by using the gun the slavers gave me to make the slavers kill the other slavers, which... that may or may not be ironic, I'm not sure. Meanwhile, back home... oh yeah, my bobblehead collection is starting to look really bloody sexy, as yes, this is the first time I've been home since we got agility, meaning, oh, we've now got the full special set, I love it. Still, I would say that is more than enough for now, but next time, yes, given we just freed those kids, how about we follow up on that and go visit Little Lamplight, because there is a whole bunch of fun stuff hidden away in there, and indeed a whole bunch of slightly obscure Little Lamplight lore that you can follow up on all around the Wasteland. So, hopefully, you are looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Fallout, Tale of Two Wastelands. Thank you very much, and goodbye. If we just hide the bodies, nobody needs to know about this. Yes! My stupid plan has worked! It turns out I'm a genius! The giant rat scorpion is not gone! Oh, hang on, there's more yet, though. I'm still being very shocked. Guys, where's the NCR? Nobody needs to know.